Our lead story this morning in a big boost. Arvind Kejriwal's party, the Aam Aadmi Party, got elevated to a national party status. And the AAP will celebrate this with the Chief Minister also addressing the nation from the headquarters later today. The party is currently in power in two states, Delhi and Punjab. But the Election Commission said the AAP has been named as a national party based on its electoral performance in four states, Delhi, Goa, Punjab and Gujarat. Sharad Pawar's Nationalist Congress party, meanwhile, and Mamata Banerjee's Trinamool Congress, in a big setback, have been downgraded to the status of regional parties. The CPI too has been assigned the regional party status. Let's listen in to the reaction coming in from the Aam Aadmi Party, followed by a reaction from the Trinamool Congress.
Today, Aam Aadmi Party has been given the status of a national party. I wish to congratulate every single volunteer of the Aam Aadmi Party that has worked tirelessly, that has put in his or her blood, sweat, tears and toil to ensure that Aam Aadmi Party reaches this milestone. It is under Mr. Kejriwal's leadership that Aam Aadmi Party has become India's fastest growing political startup. In a decade of our existence, we have formed government in the national capital on 3 occasions with India's highest ever mandate in electoral history.
We continue to be a state party. Only national party status has been cancelled by the Election Commission temporarily. TMC has overcome many obstacles. It will overcome this obstacle also.
They will have to understand that you need the required support to be a national party status. It's been 25 years for that party since it's formed. And same way with the NCP, because the birth of the NCP as well as the Trinamool Congress are, really some of the parties which had started off in the late 90s. And it's in that backdrop that the NCP as well as the TMC grew from a state party to a national party status because they had ensured that they contested in small states, in constituencies, so as to be able to get the required strength and support. The Election Commission has to review it. The Aam Aadmi Party's, as we have been pointing out and said by Raghav Chadha, is the fastest political startup that we have seen in recent times. In a decade's time, it has got the national party status. This, of course, after the Election Commission was prompted by the Karnataka High Court to come clear about that demand that they had made so that they be able to get the boom symbol for contesting in the Karnataka Assembly election. So it's in that backdrop that the Election Commission has taken these decisions. Whether there will be a legal setback in terms of challenging it, I don't know. Whether really courts will intervene or try to help the Trinamool Congress at this present juncture, because as I said, this is a continuous process depending on your electoral strength and your performance in the state as well as national elections.
Right, so in a big boost, the Arvind Kejriwal-led Aam Aadmi Party has been elevated to a national party status. The AAP is expected to celebrate this today with their entire party cadre as long as their leaders and with the Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal to actually address the nation from the Aam Aadmi Party headquarters. As you know, the party is currently in power in 2 states, Delhi and Punjab. But the EC said the AAP has been named as a national party based on its electoral performance in 4 states. These 4 states are actually Delhi, Goa, Punjab and Gujarat. Meanwhile, as I mentioned earlier, Sharad Pawar's Nationalist Congress party and Mamata Banerjee's Trinamool Congress, in a big setback, have actually been downgraded to the status of regional parties. The CPI too has been assigned the regional party status. We've heard from the AAP and the TMC, but if I can just break down the numbers for you here at this point, the AAP is in power with big majorities and very large vote shares in Delhi and in Punjab. In the Goa Assembly elections in March last year, it received about 6.77% of the vote. This meant that going into the Gujarat-Himachal elections towards the end of 2022, the Aam Aadmi Party already fulfilled the criteria for recognition as a state party in 3 states. It then required 6% of the vote in the assembly elections in either Himachal or Gujarat to be recognized in a 4th state, which were then qualified for a recognition as a national party. But meanwhile, if we talk about the NCP, Sharad Pawar's Nationalist Congress Party and Mamata Banerjee's Trinamool Congress have suffered a huge setback by being downgraded to the status of regional parties. And as I mentioned, the CPI too has been assigned the regional party status. Right. If I can just also take you through how a political party, what does one need to do for a political party to be considered a national party? If I can just pull that graphic up for you as well. A political party is considered a national party if it's recognized in 4 or more states, or if its candidates polled at least 6% of total valid votes in any 4 or more states in the last Lok Sabha or Assembly elections and has at least 4 MPs in the last Lok Sabha polls. Or the third criteria is if it has won at least 2% of the total seats in the Lok Sabha from not less than 3 states. Right, to better understand the political ramifications of the AAP being elevated to a national party status, we are going to be joined by the Aam Aadmi Party in a short while from now. I'm told Abhinandita Mathur from the AAP will join us. Currently on the broadcast, joining us, Bhaskar Ghosh from the BJP, Riju Datta, spokesperson of the All India Trinamool Congress. Also in a short while from now, we're going to be joined by Mahesh Tapase, the chief spokesperson of the NCP, and Ashutosh Srivastav, advocate from the Supreme Court. Bhaskar Ghosh, I'd like to begin with you. Have you and your colleagues in the BJP been nervously sweating since the news broke, or did you manage to get some good sleep last night? The Aam Aadmi Party has been claiming that despite all odds, despite every single trick in the book to eliminate them from the national political space, they made it here.
Look, I think there is nothing like that. We are tensed because we, being such a party which is the world largest party in the largest democracy of the world, we are the largest party. And with 11 crore, almost 11 to 18 crores of members. So no one is even to the widest horizon of what we are today. So we are nothing to be tensed. What we are tensed today is this regional party. It's not that it's only captivated or they only qualify or disqualify. What are the behaviors to the national interest to keep the national interest of this country? They are regional parties like TMC. TMC is today declared as a regional party, but they are working as a regional party, only concentrating on Bengal for such a long time, ignoring all national interests and doing everything which goes against the constitution of this country. Today, Aam Aadmi Party may have got that status, but the biggest question to this country I must make to my countrymen, that whether Aam Aadmi Party is working as a national party or they are still working sentimentally and philosophically as a regional party only. When they talk about Delhi, I know they are involved in all kind of ghotalas in Delhi. Their ministers are behind the bar. First question is that should it be a characteristic of a national party whose ministers number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5 are behind the bar and either is close to behind the bar or under conviction process. So my question is today, my tension is today for this country is, these upgradation or downgradation is just a statistical necessity, but are these party of NCP or TMC or Aam Aadmi Party is working for the integrity and the development of this country or not? That is my tension. If you mention at all what tension, that is really my tension today, that they should behave like a responsible national party or responsible regional party. What TMC is doing in Bengal, I mean, this doesn't show that they deserve to be a national party. They truly, now I can really make you, I'm really happy that election commission has given them the right status, that they are the regional party with the regional mentalities. So
right.
That is my tension today.
Right, we've also got Aam Aadmi Party's Abhinandita Mathur joining us. I'm told she's in a moving car, so the signal might be slightly patchy. However, Abhinandita Mathur, we're going to try and take this question to you. Congratulations, first of all. You've been elevated to the national party status. But at this point, what are the top priorities for your party? Bhaskar Ghosh, by the way, says the BJP is not tensed at all and they aren't threatened at this point.
I did hear a bit of what he said. Firstly, thank you so much. And, it is a big occasion for us. We actually, sometimes some dreams come true, and that's because of the collective will and energy that people put in together. I think it's the wish of lakhs and lakhs of Aam Aadmi Party volunteers. Having said that, we are obviously, amused by the BJP's response because, initially they laughed at us and then so did the Congress, and then they said, "Arey, who is Arvind Kejriwal? Kaise ye log jeetenge?" To date, when we know we have elected representatives in 9 states, so that is not a small thing. कहीं पे पंचायत में, कहीं पे सरकार है हमारी, कहीं पे MLAs है. So slowly, the fire of Aam Aadmi Party is going to, take this country forward towards towards a better India, to make India number one. We are very excited. As far as the priorities, as you say, are concerned, we are very clear that there are 4 or 5 things that are on top of our agenda that we are working on. One of them, of course, is getting great education and public health into the system, making the system corruption free, bringing women to a status of being equal, both in terms of opportunities and safety, and so on and so forth. So we are very excited, and I would like to tell my colleague in the बीजेपी that अभी आप देखते जाइए, आप अभी भी हमें डिसमिस कर रहे हैं. आप जब हमारी सरकार बन जाती है तब भी आप हमको डिसमिस करते हैं.
मैडम, आपने पंजाब में कैसी सरकार बनाई हम देख रहे हैं.
नहीं, ये क्या आप क्या बात कर रहे हैं? आप बोल रहे हैं कि पंजाब के लोग जो है इतना मैंडेट दिया है. Do you really think that what you're saying makes any sense on this day?
Sticking to the topic,
I'm very
before
sorry.
the snowballs into Bhaskar Ghosh, you have to let Abhinandanita Mathur continue. However, I know it's been a busy day for you, lots of celebrations happening at the Aam Aadmi Party headquarters, but I have to rope in the TMC at this point. We've got Riju Datta joining us on the broadcast as well. Now, Riju Datta, back in 2016, your party received the national party status. We're in 2023 now, where owing to your dismal performance in the Goa elections and assembly polls in the northeastern states, it's now led to the national status being revoked. Has it been a stressful few hours for your party since the news broke? Has it been a stark reality check? What's your biggest takeaway for the Trinamool Congress at this point?
Firstly, in the northeast we still have 5 MLAs in Meghalaya. Trinamool Congress has been expanding, but as you know, the Election Commission of India stands as extremely compromised. Why I say that? Because in the 2021 elections in Bengal, we had 294 seats and we were given 8-phase elections during peak COVID times. In Karnataka, 240 seats. If the BJP is hallucinating that they are winning Karnataka, so 1-phase election. Secondly, the way the EC functions has been so disruptive, and it has been so politicized that even the highest court of law, the Supreme Court, had to interfere in their nomination procedures. So bottom line is that after this order has come from the Election Commission, my first congratulations to Aam Aadmi Party and Mr. Kejriwal for the national status. But there are other parties who have still maintained their national status who do not qualify the basic criteria. So then why this kind of attitude with Trinamool Congress? So we have already submitted our letter of concern to the Election Commission and we are exploring our legal options as well. However, I have heard what BJP is saying, where a leader of the party, the biggest leader of the party, the Prime Minister of the country, and his cabinet has 43% cabinet ministers who have got criminal charges, who have politicized independent central agencies to a part of the judiciary, to the Election Commission, to everything under the sun, just for electoral gain, who are busy in their bigoted mindset to divide this country based on caste, creed and religion. We don't need lectures from them. All the opposition are united together. We will fight on the issues of the people of India, and Trinamool Congress will take BJP head on. Their panchayat polls are in the next 2 months in Bengal, and then we will see how, and the world will see, and the country will see how the world's largest party is not only defeated but crushed by the people of Bengal in Bengal.
We're expecting nothing short of a blockbuster performance from your party in that case. But I'd like to bring in NCP's Mahesh Tapase at this point. Now, so the NCP was first recognized as a national party back in 2000, 23 years ago. And now your footprint is of a state party in Nagaland and Maharashtra. Do you feel threatened that the AAP has gained the status of being a national party in such a short time? They say it's a record pace.
Well, good morning to all of you. We don't feel threatened by the Aam Aadmi Party. Okay, as far as the status of national party, we congratulate them on getting the status as a national party. Let me tell you that the NCP, having formed in 1999, enjoyed being a national party from early January 2000 up till now. So I think our performance in 2014 general elections, we all know that the Modi wave was very strong, and at that time our candidates also could not make it in other parts of the country other than the state of Maharashtra. So that was one of the reasons, and we got notices like all other parties which got notices, but due to COVID reasons, those hearings for those 2014 elections were on hold. And I think last couple of weeks ago the hearings resumed, and the elections of 2014, the elections of 2019 were clubbed together to see the performance. But I think in 2019 we had a wider alliance of political parties coming together in opposition of the BJP, and hence again the Modi wave was there, and that's how the performance. But that does not mean that the stature of our leader as a national leader has diminished. We have the party organization in place, we have our office in Delhi, we have got offices across the country in various places, and we have people who believe in the ideology of Mr. Sharad Pawar ji at national level and at state level in various states. We could get a good sizable seats in the Nagaland assembly elections, and Maharashtra of course is a stronghold, but this is the first time that our status of national party has gone, but that does not diminish our spirits at all. Elections are just around the corner, 2024 is not too far away, plus the Maharashtra incumbent judgment is due any next
But
couple of
many
days.
would also say that you will not now get an assured call for meetings whenever the Election Commission calls for an all-party meeting. And many would also say that political funding will also be slightly affected due to the withdrawal of the national status. Is that something the NCP is worried about?
So we are not worried about anything, because our focus as far as election is concerned is more on development, it's more on employment, it's more on agriculture, it's more on science and technology and education. So our priorities in political system is very well set. I mean, we do not get into a personal kind of a mudslinging, and we want to trace up issues which are relevant to the people.
Right.
And we want to establish a people's mandate. So we have made a wider alliance with people, whether it's Aam Aadmi Party or the Congress Party or so many other, the TMC at a national level. But our agendas are intact. We want to take to the people the issues which are relevant for the people, and this is where the people will connect. And hence, in the last couple of days, you might have seen that there was some contrary remarks, but people thought it was contrary, but it is not contrary. I mean, whatever allegation that you make, it should be able to prove it in the court of law. This is the first part. And how does it affect the life of a common person? This is the second thing. So we focus on both the things, and Mr. Pawar having a strong administrative and a parliamentary experience of years. I mean, he's very vocal about what he actually feels.
This is also a good time to bring in Ashutosh Srivastav. He's been patiently waiting there. Mr. Srivastav, as per our sources, some parties are currently exploring legal options to challenge this decision by the Election Commission. Now, take us through the options political parties have at this stage.
First of all, as per Article 324 of the Constitution of India, the Election Commission of India has got certain powers, which includes the superintendence of the elections and also for the recognition of political parties. And as we know that there was amendment in 2016, as per that amendment, now after every 2 consecutive elections, the Election Commission of India can recognize a political party, whether national or a state or a regional. However, earlier it was after every election. So this has changed from 2016, considering that the Election Commission of India has done the same, and we know the criteria, any of the criteria which fulfills, like at least 2% seats in the Lok Sabha, if any political party is having, with at least 3 states. Or secondly, if it has got the 6% at least votes from 4 or more states having at least 4 member of parliament in Lok Sabha. And thirdly, if it is recognized as a state party in at least 4 states. So in either of these conditions, the Election Commission of India can recognize a political party to be a national party. Now, coming to the options, see, if any political party, any person, individual who is not satisfied or happy with this kind of a ruling can obviously move to the Supreme Court challenging any of the these kind of rules or regulations which has got powers to amend if it is proved to be unconstitutional. But I don't think there is any unconstitutional here. There could be chances of improvement or maybe changes in law depending the development from time to time.
Right.
These rules have been framed, that it shows the confidence of people in a political party. And if the confidence of people is increasing, then it can be treated as a national party, right, or likewise a state party, etc. So, having said that, at present, since this political party qualifies as one of the conditions laid down by the Election Commission of India, which is the rule of law at present, I think accordingly Election Commission has decided. So any decision which has been made by any of the authority in this country can be challenged on certain grounds. Subject to those grounds are really it makes some legal sense before any forum. So that is something everybody has the right to move to the court to challenge any rules, regulations, laws. And we have seen earlier also that Supreme Court has struck down certain rules and regulations, yes, or laws which the Supreme Court found it to be not in consistence with the constitution of this country. So I would not comment much on that, but yeah, they have the right to go. But at present, this is the rule. That. Yeah. Yes.
Abhinavita, yes. I'd like to rope you in. Your boss has termed the development a huge responsibility, and it is. By no means is it less than a huge responsibility. But your critics, like our BJP leader on our broadcast, they continue to mudsling as far as some of your senior ministers are concerned. Whether it's bringing up the issue of the Delhi liquor scam, or it's milking the leaked footage of Satyendra Jain's jail massages, what is your rebuttal at this point?
We are obviously not surprised at what they're saying, because there is obviously no other rationale on which they can criticize us. We are doing some good work. They don't like any opposition. They're running a vendetta against all opposition political parties. I can say this, even on behalf of our other colleagues, and they would agree. So of course, BJP, bringing in stuff like, and I know that ultimately, if all arguments fail, then they will say, but so this person left your party or that person left your party. So there is no logical rationale. What is unfortunate in all this is that, there is no mention of the public. What is it that the public is getting? What is it that the public needs? Where do we want to take the country? There is no vision in that sense that the BJP has, or certainly it's not sharing with the rest of the country. We are not surprised at all by their mudslinging, even at this point. Because we were hoping that they'd show some grace, but unfortunately, I don't think that is a real expectation from the BJP.
Abhinavita, I'm going to bring in Bhaskar Ghosh at this point.
Sure.
Mr. Ghosh, I'm going to give you a task. Let's assume for a second you're not a member of the ruling party and you're not a part of public office. So when the Aam Aadmi Party says it's India's fastest growing political startup, do you agree? And do you think the Aam Aadmi Party's growth and the pace of its growth is commendable?
First of all, if you really tell me to be neutral, as a professional, let me tell you the word political party and startup is a very contradictory terms. The political party and the startup is a professional terms. When a startup company grows, it grows in a different...
Think it would be interesting.
Allow me, madam, allow me. I have not disturbed you. I have not disturbed you. I have been given a specific task. That's why I'm giving my comments on this. Startup company, whenever it grows in a different pattern. Their legitimacy is different. But when a political party grows at the cost of the national interest, at the cost of at the cost of compromising with the constitutional obligation of the respective party, then I'm sorry to say, I cannot say it's the fastest growing startup company. So political companies cannot be compared in any terms within professionally the startup companies. Number one. Number two, this regional parties, as I mentioned, the moment the regional party is upgraded towards the national political party, they should also bear the responsibility of keeping the agenda focused on the national interest as a whole. What we are seeing in Punjab is not to the is a contrary to the national interest. They are failed to control those external elements, anti-national elements over there. They are failed to control the law and order situation over there. In Delhi, all of their ministers,
Ms. Mathur has 30 seconds. I'm afraid I'm out of time. Ms. Mathur has 30 seconds to respond.
So I am sorry, I cannot give the mark that they are the fastest startup political parties. It's again a paradox and sophism. The comparison between a paradox and sophism.
Right,
I'm sorry, your argument was very relevant, and and it's also very dangerous what you're saying about Punjab. I think I'd like to bring to your notice that it's not appropriate to actually spread rumors about the situation in Punjab, just as we very often keep quiet about the situation in Arunachal, only because we mean well for the country. We are all here to protect its sovereignty. So I think that your argument is irrelevant, and you must check yourself, because in the garb of fake nationalism, you shouldn't really do something like a blunder which you have already done in China. In Arunachal, and please be careful about it. Please be a little bit more graceful in your losses. Be happy when other people also come up. I think that when we are all one country, and it's a bit disappointing how badly the BJP takes other people's growth and their own failure.
You mean to say that we'll forget all the ghotalas which is happening in Delhi, all this mismanagement happening in Delhi? All the chaos and ruckus is happening in Delhi behind the bar and inside the jail. We'll forget everything, and we will be graceful to that extent that you're compromising with the national interest of the Punjab. You cannot catch hold of the most dreaded terrorist over there. Everything we will be graceful, and we'll forget that this country goes on constitution.
ऐसे छोटे-छोटे आर्गुमेंट
ऐसा देश के लिए आप कर रहे हैं, हम देख रहे हैं, और देश के लिए करते करते आपने आप जेल जाके कल करेंगे कि मैं जेल जाके शहीद बन गया, ये भी आप करेंगे, वो ग्रेसफुली हमें भी ये वो एक्सेप्ट करना पड़ेगा कि हमारे मंत्री जेल गए तो शहीद हो गए, कल शहीद का दर्जा दे रहे हैं. आपके ऑनरेबल चीफ मिनिस्टर इज गिविंग देम ए क्लीन चिट, उनको कह रहे हैं कि नहीं ये सब बेकसूर है, और कोर्ट इज एक्सटेंडिंग द कस्टडी डे आफ्टर डे, वीक आफ्टर वीक. सो एवरीथिंग विल कम अंडर द ऑनरेबल ग्रेसफुल एटीट्यूड्स. वी कैनॉट डू दैट बीइंग a national party of the national interest being the priority.
Right, I hope instead of bickering on TV and political panels, we all hope collectively we can see some tangible development on the ground where your parties are in power. I'd like to wish all of you best of luck. We hope your parties, or you as individuals, undertake groundwork you are all proud of, and we as Indians are all proud of. Thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast this morning. The Aam Aadmi Party has been elevated to the national party status. You just heard from the BJP, the Aam Aadmi Party, as well as the Trinamool Congress and the NCP. As I mentioned earlier, the NCP and the Trinamool Congress have now been downgraded. They are no longer considered a national party. We now have 6 national parties: the BJP, the Congress, the CPM, the BSP, the NPP and the Aam Aadmi Party. So, Mamata Banerjee and Sharad Pawar, their parties have been dealt a huge blow. We'll keep tracking all the latest developments for you on NDTV 24/7, but that's it on the lead story for now.